Upbeat, investigative-style intro music fades into the background. Picture this: the roar of the crowd, the blinding lights of the Olympic arena, and a dream more than 10 years in the making. For Italian boxer Angela Carini, this was it. The culmination of a lifetime of sacrifice, grueling early mornings, endless drills, a singular focus on gold. Across the ring stood her opponent, Algeria's Imane Khelif, powerful, focused, and equally determined. The bell rings, the world watches, but what happens next isn't the epic battle everyone expected. 46 seconds, that's all it took. In less than a minute, Carini's corner throws in the towel. She leaves the ring, head bowed, tears streaming down her face, whispering to her coaches that the fight felt unjust. What seemed like a simple, decisive victory quickly spiraled into one of the most polarizing controversies in modern sports history. And it forces us to ask a question that cuts to the very heart of competition. What does it truly mean to be fair? This wasn't just any fight, it was a flashpoint. To understand why, we have to rewind a few months. Before the Olympics, Imane Khelif had been disqualified from the World Championships. The reason? Questions surrounding the sport's gender testing rules. She was deemed ineligible, but then something changed. By the time the Olympic flame was lit, the rules had been revised. The International Olympic Committee, or IOC, cleared Khelif to compete, championing their updated policies as a major step forward for inclusion and equality. But this decision didn't unite the world. It split it wide open. Fans, scientists, and fellow athletes were suddenly locked in a fierce global debate. On one side, you had sports experts and some athletes pointing to science, discussing things like hormone levels, bone density, and muscle mass, arguing these biological factors create an undeniable performance advantage that can't be ignored. On the other side, advocates for inclusion stood firm, insisting that every single athlete has the fundamental right to compete without being subjected to discrimination. They argued that sport must evolve to embrace all identities. Caught in the middle of this firestorm were the female boxers themselves. Imagine training your entire life, following every rule, only to feel like the ground is constantly shifting beneath your feet. Many voiced their frustration and confusion, saying the rules were not just changing, but were also shrouded in secrecy. Where was the transparency? Who was making these decisions, and why? As you can imagine, social media and news outlets exploded. The debate grew louder and more heated each day. Was this a victory for progress and human rights, or was it an unfair playing field, a decision influenced by political pressure and the massive sponsorship deals that keep the Olympic machine running? It's a messy, complicated picture. And while the world argued, it's easy to forget who was really paying the price. Behind the shouting and the headlines, a different story was unfolding. The controversy, as controversial topics often do, generated a massive surge in media attention. Ratings soared, clicks multiplied. Major brands and broadcasters, whether intentionally or not, benefited from the drama. The more people argued, the more they watched. Meanwhile, the governing bodies, the organizations responsible for providing clarity, seemed to be doing everything they could to avoid giving firm answers. They issued vague statements about fairness and inclusion, but for the athletes looking for guidance, these words felt hollow. They were caught in a whirlwind of uncertainty, their careers hanging in the balance with no clear path forward. And this brings us back to Angela Carini. For her, this wasn't just a loss on a scoreboard. It was the shattering of a decade-long dream. Her tearful exit from the ring became an incredibly powerful symbol for countless female athletes around the world. It represented a deep-seated fear that their years of dedication, their sweat and sacrifice, were being overshadowed by rules they didn't understand and couldn't influence. Her personal heartbreak became a public spectacle, a face for a movement of women in sport who feel unheard and unprotected. They're not just fighting opponents in the ring or on the field anymore. They're fighting for the very integrity of their sport. This story is so much bigger than just one boxing match or even won Olympic Games. It's a reflection of a global reckoning. We, as a society, are being forced to confront incredibly complex questions about science, identity, and justice, all playing out on the world's biggest stage. So, where do we go from here? As the world continues to watch and wait, committees behind closed doors are rewriting policies once again. Athletes continue to train, haunted by the uncertainty of whether the rules they're training under today will even exist tomorrow. And the public, all of us, continue to argue about what fairness should truly look like in the 21st century. The Olympic Games were founded on the principle of a level playing field, of equal opportunity for all. But ironically, in this new era, the very definition of equality has become the most contested event of all. The story of Carini and Khelif is not over. It's an ongoing chapter in the history of sport. How will future generations remember this moment? Will it be seen as a courageous leap toward a more inclusive future or a betrayal of the core principles of fair competition? The answer will be determined by the decisions that are made next. Because right now, the future of women's sport, and perhaps the very meaning of fairness itself, hang precariously in the balance. What do you think? Is there a way to balance inclusion with fair competition? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is a conversation we all need to have. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story as compelling as I did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories that are shaping our world. See you next time.